Welcome, welcome everyone. I just wanted to make sure this is showing up. Having a little slow tech today. Make sure it's showing up in the group. You guys, I am super excited for the 1K per day masterclass starting next Monday. If you haven't signed up already, make sure that you join. It's just melissazosky.com/1K per day. And we're going to have so much fun there. It's for intuitive business owners, coaches, and healers, helping you really dial in, scale your business, bringing in like 5 to 7 new clients daily. And it's just absolutely amazing. So we're going to have fun doing that. And I wanted to bring that up. But welcome, welcome to the energy of your business, the lies that no one wants my offers. Now, I know that this is something that coaches, intuitives, practitioners feel a lot, because a lot of times it comes in with low self-confidence or some kind of block from this lifetime or generational. All right. And so we need to remember that when you feel this way, it only repels your ideal clients. And we don't want that. We want to have people that are truly feeling that energy that you can help them. All right. And so we're going to work on that today. And this is one of the topics that we worked on in my group this last week. We went through clearing those blocks to help them, just really step into that confidence and that feeling that they have it covered, that everything is working out for them, that they have everything they need to help their people, and they can give their people the transformations that they want. Okay. That their ideal clients love. Okay. So this lie of no one wants my offers. All right. That fear that no one will want you or your services can stop you before you even start your business. And it's a very real thing, guys. It's something that I've seen people's businesses get sabotaged over and over and over again just by this belief. Okay. So even seasoned entrepreneurs hit this one. All right. It blocks them from up leveling to the next level. Remember, we have new level, new devil. It's like you can get there. Maybe you're confident enough where you're at right now. Then all of a sudden you hit, you're at $98,000 a year, and then you can't ever break that 100K mark. All right. So that's where these kind of things come in and sabotage us from moving forward. And we don't want that. We want to make sure that we are aligned and we're constantly moving. It's just like blood. Energy is just like blood. If it stops running, what does that mean? It means you're not living anymore, right? Same with your business. You want to keep your business alive and well and flowing. All right. So some things that can help you build confidence in yourself that projects to your ideal clients. We're going to give you some examples of these. On the energy side of things, that's just the basics. It's you stepping into your confidence. All right. And I know that you might yes, I'm confident that my work helps people heal, or my work helps people get rid of their negative belief patterns, or what I do helps my clients, regain, get over chronic fatigue or chronic pain or digestion issues, or it helps them with mindset. It helps them study better, whatever that is for you. Whether you're an intuitive coach, a mindset coach, a business coach, it doesn't really matter. It's all the same. Your confidence has to go deeper than just that surface level. All right. On the energy side of things, we really needed you to step fully into your confidence. Okay. And so part of this is looking for those inherited patterns. All right. You guys know, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I am full on into generational belief patterns, programming, traumas that keep us stuck. All right. We don't want that. We want to get down deep and remember that these beliefs, these energy blocks are like weeds. All right. If you pull them and you don't pull out the whole root, what happens? It comes back again, right? It just keeps coming back. And if you continually pull it the next year, it still grows back. So we need to get down to the root, the very tiny part that's still holding on. And the thing about this, it could go back hundreds, thousands of years. There's a lot of different theories on, it can only go back 7 years, only can go back 10. I believe that our cellular memory retains information going back even thousands of years. Okay. And that's why you see repeat patterns for so long. And I mean, if you start looking into your family heritage, or if you have a diary, or your family has kept track of these things in some kind of a journal or something, you'll see that the same problems are historically happening over and over again. Okay. So the big thing is look for those inherited patterns first, because I like to go, I mean, that's the easiest, right? If you know how to do energy testing, which we are going to be teaching a little part of inside the 1K per day masterclass starting next Monday. And again, we'll put the link in the comments. It's just melissazosky.com/1K per day. We show you an energetic testing method. It shows you how far back you can go and find the root. All right. And yeah, it takes a little bit of practice, but the one I'm going to show you is super easy. Okay. So just when you look for those inherited patterns, the thing is, the easiest thing to do is, what did your parents act like? Did they have issues with this? Right? Did they feel like they weren't good enough, or nobody likes them, or nobody wanted them around, or any of those things are clues. And it's just being a really good detective so that you can find those early roots, right? And that's just from this lifetime. But it gives you that like little bit of a pattern. Like, say your mom's great, but your dad, you notice some issues with him. So that's where you'd be like, let's test back on dad's side to find out how many generations back, or maybe it's even grandpa. Maybe you notice something in grandpa, but it skipped dad. But if it was in grandpa, it's probably hidden in dad's DNA too, and it's replaying there. You probably got part of that, right? So we want to make sure that we really dig deep. And most likely you're going to have pieces on both sides, but we want to hit the biggest ones first, because once we knock that load down, you have your energy lift up. And what happens when your energy is higher, that higher vibration, is that energy goes out to the universe, right? And the universe matches that vibration. So the higher you can make that vibration and you send that out to the universe sends you so many beautiful things, right? Like sends you new clients, sends you better relationships, sends you better financial situations, opportunities, and circumstances that really build you up and give you the leverage to be able to keep moving on forward. Okay. So blocks of this lifetime are huge. So like you can also just look for blocks. A lot of times people start off with this lifetime first. And I don't want you to think that, oh my gosh, that I'm not getting anything from my other lifetime, from the generational stuff, if I'm only working this lifetime, because you are. All right. Even if you only have this lifetime based on what you can remember, that energy frequency, that block, that thing that's keeping you stuck, keeping you from success, keeping you in generational failure, even if it's from this lifetime, the frequency, when you clear that, it actually grabs the frequencies from other lifetimes too. It most likely won't get to the root, but it relieves some layers. And oftentimes, when you start lifting, more parts come forward because they're ready to clear too. So you're like uncovering, uncovering, uncovering. And then all of a sudden, boom, you got like this gold chest full of like gold bullion, right? So it's fun and it can be life changing. Make sure this is showing up over here. Yep, it is. Good. Okay. So asking yourself, was there a time in your life when someone like put you down repeatedly? That would be something to look at, right? If you're thinking nobody wants my stuff, nobody wants this work, or nobody will pay for my programs, my services, nobody, that kind of thinking, oftentimes you're going to see a repeat pattern in your lifetime, right? So ask yourself, how about about around being judged or rejected? Did you ever not put yourself out there because you didn't want people to make fun of you? Like maybe a third grade memory comes up and you didn't want to get on that little stage for the play because you didn't want to be made fun of. Or maybe you didn't think you were good enough and then people would judge you and then maybe you'd be rejected, right? Again, were you left out as a kid? You can think of things like that. That when you're a child, those things are magnified 100 times. And even though today we're like, well, that was really no big deal, it really can affect your business and your life today, even relationships. So it's really important that you really dig deep into this. Okay. It's really interesting because to me, it's like detective work. All right. So another thing is, like I said again, were you made fun of or ridiculed? Like look for the biggest, most charged, earliest event, because usually those ones are the one that trigger everything else. All right. You have like that straw that broke the camel's back. Like maybe you were doing fine and then one day you snapped. because somebody said something that resonated with others. Okay? Did you feel left out by others? Did other people leave you out? I have a memory of, I think it was fourth grade when almost all the girls went to a sleepover and I was invited. And I can't tell you, that thing came up so many times over the years until I finally addressed it and cleared it out. It really helped me level up. And each one of these things that you work on, some of them are energetically like connected to each other. So even if you work on one issue, it's going to shift another issue in some way, making it easier to clear later. All right. So the next thing, let me look here at my notes. So no one wants my offers. And think about that. So the next big thing that you should do, aside from the energy, everything's energy, right? But aside from that, is really being authentic. All right. Authentic to who you are. Be real. Who are you? What are you offering? What have you gone through to get here where you are now? People want you. Okay. They want the real you, not some watered down version of someone else. Okay. I know you're seeing other people out there and, oh my gosh, I want to be like them. And that's good to use that as inspiration, but don't mimic them. Use it as inspiration, and really say, wow, I'm so inspired to get forward. I'm going to be authentically me, because we're all like fingerprints or snowflakes. We're all completely different. And that is part of your gift. Okay. So when you aren't truly being yourself, people can feel that. All right. They run from that half the time, right? And it creeps them out. So they're not going to buy from you or promote your products or um, services. They're not going to help you in any way. They're not going to buy from you. Okay. And all this does is create more distrust. It makes people look at you sideways and they just don't want to trust you. All right. So we need to make sure that you're being authentic. If you're not authentic, you might just attract, affiliates and fans you don't actually enjoy serving. Right. You find that's where burnout comes in. That's where you get that, oh, I don't want to get on a call with this person. That's when that happens. When this happens, your brand is likely to fail. Your business is likely to fail. Okay. It's far better to be authentic and build your brand slowly, let it evolve, than it is to build a community that you don't like. Okay. Build it slowly, build that community that you love helping. All right. Not that you dread. It's really important. All right. So the next thing is personalize your brand. What does that mean? Personalize your brand. It just means you do you. Okay. Customers like doing business with solopreneurs and brands that feel like friends, that are real. Okay. It can be hard to build a community when you make your content and products too sterile, right? Or cookie cutter like. It's like everybody else's. What this looks like is you don't stand out as the one person that can help them. You're just in a crowd of all these people that look the same. All right. Cookie cutter. So we're not supposed to be the same. We are made different for a reason. So you want to be the one person, and you hear me talking about this a lot, but you want to be the doctor's prescription, not a nice to have massage. You want to be so unique, so different that they feel that pull, that they want to work with you. And this again is energy. Okay? I'm a energetic business coach. So I do the aligned strategic business action, right? We have a plan, but we also make sure that you're aligned in your energy to work with it and not letting those energy blocks keep you from moving forward. Because I'm telling you right now that fear disguises itself as your inner guidance system. Fear disguises itself as your intuition. And when that happens, game over. All right. You aren't able to get that business up and running because if the energy of that is not good, it will fail. You might get a little traction, you might get some clients, but you'll always hit a wall. And so I'm here to help you make sure I'm that like, all right, I'm going to be the one that says to you, really look deep, deeper than you might want to look. Because here's the thing that is keeping your kids, your past, you and your future, your kids stuck in this generational fail mode. All right. We don't want that for our kids. We want to make sure that we succeed and that we teach and clear in them so that the sky's the limit for them, right? It's so much easier and it doesn't take any more time because you're working in your business, you're working creating this incredible legacy. At the same time, you're clearing your blocks and building this business. It all goes together. It doesn't have to take more time and you don't have to do either or. That's what I like doing with the business and the energy together because, and think about it, like the one belief, I talk about this a lot, I'm not good enough. That one belief, that one belief alone can cut you all the way down in every area of your life. In your business, I'm not good enough. You put that out, that's no confidence, right? We were just talking about that. And no confidence, what that does is it just makes it so that you are sending out, I'm not good enough. People, your client feels that even if you don't say it out loud and you're trying to fake it, you're not being authentically you, you're faking it. They get the energy that you're not good enough and they run. You actually repelled them, right? If you're not good enough, you're sending out to the universe, I'm not good enough, and it's not even sending you leads. If you're sending out that energy of I'm not good enough, it could be in a relationship. You find people that treat you bad. You're attracting those bad people, right? That are treating you like you aren't good enough. So, and think about this even in your body. I'm not good enough in your body. You're the president of your own country, right? So every cell is like one of your citizens. And if you're saying I'm not good enough, they're hearing I'm not good enough. So what happens is your detox pathways shut down. So this works in health, right? Your liver can't regenerate. Your body's not functioning right. It can't repair. It's like getting inflammation. Its autoimmune system is going haywire. Do you see what that one I'm not good enough does every area of your life? And so it just turns into a big can of worms. All right. We want to make sure that you step fully in, that you're not a cookie cutter cutout, that you are the one claiming 100% that you can do this, that you can help them because they'll feel it. They need you to be confident. They need you to step into who you are so you can help them. If you don't, you're basically ripping them off because I believe that you were born with a contract to work with every one of your clients, okay? And so if you're not stepping up and being seen and stepping into your confidence, you're actually holding them back from getting better today, getting the help they need, all right? So again, we're supposed to be different for a reason, all right? So just claim that and pull that in, that uniqueness, that differentness. That's beautiful, all right? I want you to share more about your real life, all right? It's important that you share a little details of your life with your audience, okay? So like if you're going live like I am now, you would talk about little things that maybe you struggled through that like I just talked about, you're not good enough. That was mine, all right? And my health turned off. I had autoimmune just went haywire, very painful. Had chronic fatigue that I felt like I took a sleeping pill every single day. It was horrendous. I remember lying on the couch, crying my eyes out, thinking, this is the rest of my life. I don't think I can do this. And so when I found the fix, when I found energy and I started working with specific kinds of unique energies, and I started clearing out the blocks. Now, I still did take care of my body, ate right, water, exercise, all that stuff. But when I did this, everything changed. And that was the foundation for me going where I needed to go now so I can help other people. All right. We're a family of entrepreneurs. We're always building businesses up. So that's where I am with you today. I love entrepreneur energy. I love the intuitive business owners, coaches, and healers with that drive to want to move forward. So it's beautiful. Let me see here. All right. So it's important, again, that you share those little details about your life. Tell me in the comments something that you've gone through that brought you to where you are today to help others. I would love to hear that in the comments. All right. So this all makes it easier for your ideal clients, your soulmate clients, to learn from you. For example, many people in the health coaching industry started because they struggled with their own health issues, right? You have weight loss coaches that used to be overweight and they lost a ton of weight. They felt amazing and they felt great energy. They wanted to share that with other people. And so they did. Same with just regular wellness coaches, right? Or mindset coaches. Maybe they struggled with anxiety. They struggled with not being able to move forward ever because their mind kept them trapped. Intuition coaches, like basically tapping into your intuition, which is part of what I do as well, but it's tapping so deeply into your intuition that you get that gut, or not doing this, or yeah, we're doing this, and listening and following through. So telling them about any of your struggles that you have and how you found ways to turn it around and then wanted to help others, etc. That's where it's at. This shows the heart behind your brand, and sharing builds trust. All right? That sharing of your story builds trust. And it's gold. It's magic. And it's like she understands me. She knows where I'm at. I get goosebumps with this. All right? Now, there's a fine line, though. You don't need to share every tiny detail of everything that you've gone through in your life, but just stay open enough for them to trust, but in a way that lets them see you are an expert and a pro in what you're doing. Okay? Again, that belief that you aren't good enough and I can't do anything right, were you told that at some point in your own life? That really relates to nobody will want me. Were you rejected at some point? How did you feel when you were rejected? Look back on the early days in your life. Maybe it was first grade. The fear of rejection again, okay? Rejection can come up from so many areas. So not getting a part in your school play, like we talked about earlier, being turned down for something, not making a team, friends dumping you. Maybe you're in the woo closet. This happened to me, true story. I was in the woo closet and I love working on like the subconscious beliefs, patterns, and programmings, and then having these amazing tools that help clear those out from this lifetime and generational, right? But when I came out of the woo closet with this, because it is woo, right? It's energy. I lost quite a few friends. And that is another fear that people don't step fully out because they have that fear they'll lose friends. But all that fear does is it keeps you imprisoned. It keeps you from moving forward. So you have to pick a team. You have to pick whether this is important to you to build this beautiful business where, again, your soulmate clients who were born with that contract to work with you are waiting for you, or whether you're not, whether you're going to sit back and just not share your gifts. All right. Any of these things like friends dumping you, any of these old memories that are tied to these can really hold you down. They're just like a jail. All right. We want to make sure that you're getting out of that jail and you find your freedom to move forward. Because when you do that and you step into that authentic you, that authentic self that you were born to be, magic does happen. All right. So then here's the other last little piece I want to share. Then you want to make sure that being authentic in your messaging is dialed into your ideal audience. Okay. So for instance, if if your messaging's not clear, you could get a lot of people that they're not going to ever buy from you, right? Because they're not really looking for what you just said because what you said wasn't clear. Right? So talking to them specifically about what they really want is really important too. So like if you're in a specific niche, and let's say you work on autoimmune, and I'll just use this as an example, and you also work on clearing blocks and mindset work, let's say. But you say, I help anyone, create the perfect life that helps them have the most amazing relationships and they feel good. Who is that really to? Who's that? It's for everybody, right? So when you talk to everybody, nobody hears you because you're not being specific. You know, when you've gone to church and they're having a sermon and you feel like they are looking into your soul because it's connected to you specifically, that is the kind of marketing and messaging that needs to happen. So talking to them specifically about what they really want, not what they need, not necessarily what they need at this point, okay? That comes later on when you're actually working with them, okay? So, but what are they wanting right now? What are your clients? And I want you to think about this. What are your clients wanting right now? What kind of pain or struggle are they dealing with right now? I mean, you could think of like things like migraine headaches. Like, say somebody's suffering from migraine headaches daily. Wouldn't that be the most urgent thing? Yes, of course they want peace, joy, love, to feel connection. All those things are so super important. They want a better connection to God's source universe. They want to feel more grounded. They want to, yes, they want to be in flow. But in their mind, what they really want is, if they're scrolling through social media and they say migraine killer, get rid of your migraine 5 minutes or less. Or do you think they're going to have this huge migraine and they're going to say, you want to feel peace, joy, love, feel connection? Which one of those do you think they're going to go for? The migraine killer, or I want to feel peace, joy, and love? I don't know. I had migraines for years and I would have gone for, yes, I wanted peace, joy, and love, but I wanted that migraine gone really bad, right? So that's what you need to really figure out, what your people are struggling with, and speak to that. And it doesn't mean you're not talking about the other stuff. You have separate posts, you have separate live talks that you're talking about, and you're going to like dial it down. And then you're also going to find, when you do this, you're going to find like 80% of your people have this like one or two struggles the most. And then you're going to really dial into that, because then you're really speaking to what they want. Okay. What they want to get out of their life so they can step into that peace, joy, love, and connection, and whatever else they have. Right. But so ask yourself, what made them feel out of peace, joy, love, connection in the first place? Migraine headaches, so you kind of can do that exploratory detective work again. All this whole work is all about being a good intuitive coach, healer, practitioner. It all takes us being really good detectives. All right. So, and the better a detective you can become, the better your messaging can become, the better you dial it in, the more clients you bring in. Okay. So again, ask yourself, you can just have these questions set up. Did your people struggle with an autoimmune issue that isolated them? Maybe they feel extreme fatigue and can barely get out of bed. Maybe they spent a lot of time doing family activities before and now they can't do it. Speak to them about how sad that is, about how disappointing and frustrating, and they feel so isolated because they can't do stuff with their kids anymore. Right? How painful is that? All right. And do you feel like you're so tired and in pain that you can't participate in these family activities anymore, missing out on all those precious memories? And then ask him, what if I told you we can fix that? Would you want to know? Would you want to know how? Would you want to know more? And then have some kind of call to action. So that would be something like, let's talk. Let's get on a call and see if we're a fit. I want to show you how I help people. And you're not actually having a session with them, but you're kind of like going over what your past people have, what kind of really amazing results your past clients have had, or people that you've worked with. All right. It can be as easy as that. And that's the beauty of this work. So I would love to see you put in the comments anything that you've struggled with personally, that you help other people with. There's always a connection. Okay. And that will really help you open your eyes and really dig deep. I mean, spiritual entrepreneurs we're always looking for those keys that we want to help our people with, but we just miss a couple steps. You have to first attract those clients, bring them in, and then go deeper. And it's just a beautiful process, because as you're doing this, you're opening yourself up more and more to what attracts your ideal people. And then your business really starts to scale. And that's so much fun. All right. So anybody on here have any questions? I would love to answer any questions. Also, let's go ahead and pull some cards. This is my Energy of Your Business Oracle deck. And this is one of the things that I give away in the 1K per day masterclass. Let me make sure this is working okay. Yeah. So this is the energy of your business. And let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and pull 3 cards today to see where you're at. And we'll see where you're drawn at. So all you need to do is focus right now, even if you're watching the replay, just focus on what it is you'd like to bring into your business this week, or some kind of question that you have, okay? And don't forget that the 1K per day masterclass starts on next Monday, a week from today, on the 29th. And if you have any friends that you feel like would love this energy, we go through energy clearing. We look for we ID so many amazing blocks. People feel the transformation during these calls. I've had people make money, $1,200, $2,500 during this. We actually start the process of creating your transformational program. So if you're stuck in, well, what do I offer people? This is perfect time for you to really step into that and create that transformational program. I help you actually do it during the 3 days. So it's awesome. Again, we work through the blocks, and we also take the steps, the marketing steps that you need to get your first paying clients. So it is so much fun, all with energy and business together, because that's the only way I work. I don't do anything with straight up business coaches anymore, and I don't do anything. Well, I do stuff with energy still, but straight up energy. But when I'm working on my business, it's got to be both at the same time, or it just doesn't work. It's just way too slow. When you put this in the quantum field, it goes so much faster. Okay, so if you're watching the replay, go ahead and focus on what it is that you would like guidance in this week for your business, okay? And remember, everything is connected in your business, in your life, in your relationships, in your health. You work on one thing, everything changes. All right. So the first card, gratitude. Okay, be grateful. All right, being grateful, super important. All right, that's probably one of the number one things I teach. And it's give gratitude for everything, even the smallest wins. Now, I don't know about you, but we can all find things to be grateful for. And if you just say out loud, thank you so much for my health today. Thank you so much for my children. Thank you so much for this house that I live in. Thank you so much for giving me a car that runs. Thank you so much for being able to take walks daily. I mean, we can go on down a huge list. Oftentimes I just start writing them down, or I'll just talk about them out loud. And that helps lift your energy. And it helps actually open you up to receiving more things to be grateful for. Okay. When we are showing gratitude, we're opening ourselves up more to receiving. Okay. All right. So the next card is connection. All right. Connection. So connection, network and collaborate, create strong connections that will take you far. So part of what I do is I talk to a ton of people every day. And this is the part where curiosity comes in. So connection doesn't mean you're just making a connection to get a client. All right. That's the negative way to actually do outreach and DMs, and it feels real gross. Okay. So when I'm connecting with people, I always do it from that place of curiosity. I never know if I'm going to meet somebody that's going to be a potential client, or maybe they're going to be a podcast guest for my Energy of Your Business podcast. Maybe they're going to be just a friend. I shouldn't say just. Maybe they're going to become a dear friend. Maybe they're going to be somebody that I feel like when I'm needing help, they show up, and then that lifts my energy, and I can do the same for them. So, or like I said, they could become a potential client. Maybe they're a collaboration in an affiliate. Like I have several friends that are affiliates for my program. So meaning they share my stuff, I share theirs, and they get a small percentage of what I make, and I get a small percentage of theirs. So it is amazing what connection can do. Networking. It's not just about getting something, it's also about giving. All right. And that's where you need to really stay open. All right, let's find out what the next card is. Ooh, I love this. This is one of my favorites. Your team. All right, your team. Let's look at this. So the divine, your guides, angels, and universe are here to support you. Now you need to remember that. And I should add ancestors. So anytime you want help, you just need to ask. Ask for it. How many times do you forget to say, I need the help for this? Can you show me what I need to do next? And really be open to listening and then taking aligned action, okay? Because if you ask and you're guided and you get the answer and you don't take the action, It's going to get harder for you to get those intuitive hits in the future. So make sure that you have a deal with yourself. When you open up to your team and you ask for help and they give it to you, you take it and you actually take the advice, even if it feels a little bit scary, because we all have things that can be scary, right? We need to stretch into that. That's how we grow. It's like we stretch into it. The next time we stretch a little further, sometimes a little uncomfortable, like when you stretch your hamstrings and it feels nervy and you're like, I don't like this. Next time you do it, you can stretch it, you have a better range, right? So it's the same with everything in life. It's not just because it doesn't feel 100% comfortable, doesn't mean that it's not in alignment. And this is where a lot of intuitives, they use this as an excuse for not moving forward because they feel like it should all feel just 100% perfect. And that's not the world. That's not nature. Think of giving birth. Do you think that baby didn't feel some like yee, or the mom felt yee, but it was a beautiful natural process. Our natural state is an abundant state, right? Our natural state is a wealthy state, but it doesn't mean that it's always going to be 100% easy peasy. Think about flowing. You're in a river, right? And you're flowing. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have to like scoot over to the left to avoid that rock. You're still flowing, but it's just like it makes it easier. You're not swimming upstream. So I feel like this is where a lot of intuitive business owners, coaches, healers really have a hard time because they don't understand that it's not going to always feel perfect. There's going to be a little bit of discomfort. So you need to get comfortable being a little bit uncomfortable. Okay. So again, that last one was one of my favorite, the team. I love the flower. I love the feathers. I'm a big feather person. Let me look here. Anybody else? Does anybody want me to pull a card for them? We'll go ahead and pull a card. If anybody's here and they'd like a card drawn, I can do that for them. It looks like the problem with this right now is it looks like it's not getting a lot of reach. Lives used to get a ton of reach, and so that's why we're doing things a little differently. But I'm doing this so I can test it for next week. So I want to make sure that everything is going good and that we'll be able to do the calls for the 1K per day masterclass here in the group. And it looks like everything ran great today. So I'm really happy. Jennifer would love to give you a card today. All right. So Jennifer, just focus on what you would like guidance in this week. Anybody else that's feeling like, ooh, Jennifer's energy is amazing. I think that this card's going to be for me too. Then that can be for you. So just go ahead and focus what you want to receive, being open to your higher self, your ancestors, your guides for any kind of hits and guidance for you this week. All right. Ooh, let go and outsource. Now, for this one, this is around delegating and taking some things off your plate. Now, one of the first things I have my people do, hire somebody to clean your house. All right. That's the first thing I have my people do when they're outsourcing. It's because you can hire somebody to clean your house and it leaves you that free time to be able to do the really important work that you need to be doing. So the first outsource I always tell people is to hire somebody to clean your house. The second thing would be maybe doing your social media posts. But I don't do a lot of that kind of stuff in my coaching. It's more about cutting out a lot of that stuff that doesn't really work these days because the old ways of marketing just aren't working. Okay. So we need to think forward thinking and the new ways of marketing and really reaching your ideal people so that you can build and get that momentum going and build that like, no trust factor and get that moving up so you get those ideal clients. Okay. And it can go really fast. We don't have to do the long things like SEO or posting 20 times a day or reaching out in DMs 100 times a day. It doesn't have to be any of that. Okay. So I don't know, Jennifer, but that's perfect. Good. Awesome. Let me pull one more for you. I don't see anybody else. So I'll go ahead and pull one more for you. Okay. You're like permission to hire a cleaner. If you have somebody come in once every 2 weeks, have them come in every week for a while. And there is ways to find people that just work, just that somebody do posts for you just for a couple times, I don't know, a couple $100. for a month, just to kind of take some of that load off. That's easy to do. All right. All right, here's the next one. And this is something I've been working on, again, because we get out of it sometimes. Visualizing. Visualizing. Are you visualizing? See it and feel it as if it's already here, and step into that future version of you. I came across something I'd written a little while ago, and I wrote it down as a goal that I wanted to manifest. And I'm still working on manifesting it. And I was flipping through my journal, and as I did, I saw it and I was like, oh, and I was like so excited. I felt that like jump, like in my heart, my stomach, oh my gosh, that's it. That's the energy, the feeling that you need to really be in. So when you look at whatever you're visualizing, you creating, whether you write it down, whether you create a vision board, make sure that you're grabbing that emotion of how it would feel after you've already manifested it. Super important, that emotional piece. It's not just about putting sticky notes on your forehead and watching Netflix. It's like, okay, it's about really feeling it. So visualizing is important. Hope that helps. Hey, Jody, would you like a card? I'll pull a card for you too, Jody. If you just want to focus on, you're welcome, Jennifer. If you just want to focus on what you want guidance in this week, right? Most people in here are in business. So I like to focus on the business because this helps us dial in, let go of those time wasters and those things that we don't need anymore. Okay. And Jennifer, I see that you left me a message too. Keep in track of both these. Okay. Focus, focus, focus. Jody. Higher selves. Help us be guided in the highest level for our greatest good. Again, anybody listening to this, if you're feeling drawn, if you're listening to this recording and you're feeling drawn to this card, that's great. That means it's for you. I love this one too. I always say this. I love this one too. Inspired action. Inspired action, Jody. Okay. So what that means is intuition will guide you and the universe will support you along the way. Inspired action is just not any old action. It's meaning that you feel this like, I'm doing this. I feel really drawn to this. This is where I need to be. And so oftentimes, in order to get the inspired action, I want to have my goal, what I want to create here first. And then I ask, what inspired action can I take to reach this goal? And, a lot of times I'll ask my people, like everybody's different, right? So I'll ask my people, is money important for you to get right now? Then what income generating activity, right, can I take right now to reach this goal? And then be open to hearing the downloads and hits. Sometimes it's in the form of a mentor helping guide you, right? Helping show you. We're going to be working on that next week during the 1K per day masterclass. Make sure you join. We're going to be taking some inspired action. I'm going to be guiding you what steps to take. Okay. Really important. I know, Jody, isn't that perfect? Inspired action. Then we have Jill. You'd love to get this deck of cards. What's the name of it? It is called The Energy of Your Business. You can find them on Etsy. That's it right there. Would you like a card? Would you like me to draw? I'll draw a card for you. Hope I didn't mess these up. I think I did. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull these guys. I'll pull a card for you too, Jill. Yeah, I love these cards. I created them last year, and I also created a newly released journal to go with them so that you can keep track of what it is that you want to create, those goals, those dreams. All right. So focusing again for Jill. Yes. Guidance, higher self. Where can you be to create this massive success in your business? And if you have a number goal, I'm big on the 6-figure years. What can you do? Where are you being called to go? Whatever your goal is, okay? Higher self. My favorite. I would do higher self work, future self work. It's all beautiful. So, what this is saying for you, Jill, is ask your old wise self, tap into the highest version of you. That version has already been where you're going. It knows all the information about you, knows all your blocks, knows everything, all your fears, everything. And she is there to help you move forward at all times. She can help you uncover all blocks too that are held in body parts. We get emotions and beliefs and patterns held in tissues of our body, bone, hair, skin, all of it around our aura field. She'll help. All right. So tapping in and asking your higher self. So what I do is I just call in my higher self and have her there for me, guiding me, helping me dig deeper into my intuition. And it's part of your intuition, but really trusting your higher self always has your back. It's the highest version of you. Okay. So tap deeper into that. And we do some of this work inside the 1K per day masterclass too. Like I said, we do the future self, we do the higher self. It just helps you level up. We bring the whole team in and it's beautiful. All right, let me make sure I don't have anybody else here. Well, I'm so happy. It looks like everything held through today okay. With Facebook and the glitchy stuff going on, you never know. And so I wanted to make sure that we were all set for next week. And it looks like we are. So I'm so happy. So you guys, thanks so much for being here. If you're in the group, which you obviously are, go ahead and if you're watching from LinkedIn, come on over to the Shining Mentor Successful Entrepreneurs group. If you join the 1K per day masterclass, you'll be sent the link. But we're streaming live in YouTube here and LinkedIn. So, but if you have any friends that you know that the 1K per day masterclass would be helpful for, if they're struggling in their business, maybe they've been doing it for a while, maybe they're just starting out. It's good to have a good foundation, or it's good to actually look at what's working, what's not working, and do some things that are different for a change so that you can create that success. We see it happen all the time. And it's a beautiful process. You feel like a different person during just those 3 days of that masterclass, and it's free. So you have nothing to lose. So invite your friends in, and we'd love to have them. All right. All right, everyone. You have a great rest of the day or great rest of the week, even. Okay. Take care. Bye.